Hey guys, if you've been using Claude Code without sub-agents or without custom Claude codes, you are missing out. Custom Claude codes are changing absolutely everything. They're completely insane. And today I'm going to show you step by step how to create them. Let's get into it. Now, as usual, this is all already on the Skool community in pretty good detail, but I'm just going to go through my entire process today. We're going to make a new Claude Code sub-agent to make a service-based website for clients. Think plumbers or SEO agencies or whatever you've got on Next.js, and I'm going to show you exactly how we make these. If you want to join the Skool community, it's one of the links in the description. People really, really like the Skool community, and it's helping a lot of people with basic concepts from beginner vibe coding concepts all the way up to building production ready apps with AI. Okay, so the first thing we do is you get the GitHub repo, which is a completely free repo. I've talked about this a few times. Explain what you want the orchestrator to do, but also the orchestration system to do. And then you iterate on that process until you get a perfect one-shot flow. And then I've put profit kind of as a meme at the bottom here, but it's not really a meme. Like, you could sell these websites. I did actually sell one of these websites, Rolls-Royce rent.it. This website was sold for $999 to an my old boss, basically, who bought a Rolls-Royce and decided that he wanted to rent out the Rolls-Royce, presumably so he didn't lose money on the Rolls-Royce in the value going down on the car, right? Okay, so let's jump straight into this. First things first, you need to go to the GitHub. There is a link in the description of this video. Let me just grab the code here. So it's this one here. It's the Claude Code Agent Wizard V2. This entire system uses sub-agents. It's an extremely interesting system that I think a lot of people will really, really appreciate if they haven't tried yet. People in the Skool community really, really like this system. Now, one of the systems I built yesterday was this one right here, and I showed this off in the video yesterday, and people really, really like that video. That is probably the best one of my videos has done for quite a long time. So let's talk about how to actually make these systems. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go over to my terminal. Let's just say make dir, let's just call this Claude Code Wizard v2, cd Claude Code Wizard v2, and then Claude -- dangerously skip permissions. Okay, so instantly we're into the project and we are ready to go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to say to Claude, please get this code and this branch locally so you can read and understand it, and then paste the link like that. Now I'm going to show you guys in detail how I make these processes, okay? This is going to be a very, very detailed video, so strap in and get ready. So the first thing we do is we obviously get the code locally, so we'll just see in a second. So I'm just going to say put it in a subdirectory, it's not a problem. Okay, that's fine. Keep reading the project, especially the orchestrator inside claude.md and also the sub-agents to understand how they work. So what this will do is, this is the most important part of this process. It has to read these files to understand what the fuck is going on. Otherwise, it will not understand, right? So let's watch this process just so that you guys can understand where I'm coming from. So it's reading .claude, it's reading claude.md, it's reading the agents files. It has to read everything, guys. You can't skimp out on this part of the process. So it's read the schema creator, the data generator, the Next.js builder, the design generator, the playwright tester. Perfect. They are all of the sub-agents needed for this entire process. Now what we're going to do, as soon as this is finished, we can already start writing because I know what comes next, okay? Beautiful, it's understood everything. So now I want to make a new Claude code. I don't even know what these are called. Custom Claude code generator. This one is for, so I'm just going to write the prompt first, guys, because when I write and talk, it kind of messes the audio up. So okay, so this is the entire prompt I came up with. You can read it, you can copy it, you can do whatever, you can change it for what you need it to. I don't think I will read this, but basically the important thing is I am just changing the important parts of this. You can read what these do, right? So design generator, schema generator, data generator, Next.js builder, playwright tester. and also main orchestrator, and you guys can decide which of these need to change, right? So change the orchestrator to match this and the README to match this new system. Then push to a new branch called service website generator. Okay, feel free to read this, guys. You don't have to read it in too much detail if you don't want to. You can just copy this, change it for whatever you need it to do. You can take a picture of this, whatever. Okay, I'm just going to show you how this works. So I'm going to hit enter here. What this is going to now do is it's going to take this code and it's going to change it to be a service page generator instead of a directory generator. So right now, this entire system is specific to directories. In about, I don't know, 10 minutes, we'll also have a service website generator. So I'm just going to let this run. And if I think that anything is worth talking about, I will unpause the recording and I will explain what it's doing. So just so you guys know, the way this actually works is the Claude.md file is the orchestrator. Let me just talk about this actually, because I think this is this gets lost in the source a little bit. The way this actually works, this system that I built, and the way that, in my opinion, Claude Code should work, right, is this is Claude Code, right? This is your 200,000, 200K context window, right? And inside this window, you have a .claude or a Claude.md file, right? And that effectively works as a memory for your 200,000 window, okay? And what this memory is the workflow, right? This is the orchestrator. So you can see you are the service website generator orchestrator. So this serves as an orchestration memory, right? Everything you write here is basically the entire workflow boiled down to its simplest form, right? Then what happens is each one of these sub-agents also has its own memory, okay? So it first spawns the design agent, let's say. So this is design, and then the creation agent, and then the SEO agent, and then the data agent, whatever. That's not the right order, but maybe you understand what I mean. And then slowly but surely you get to the testing agent, right? And it's all within the same 200,000 context window, because each sub-agent, if you don't know, has its own 200,000 context window, okay? So this is how this entire system works. It's a really, really beautiful system, I have to say. So what it's doing right now is it's just slowly but surely changing the orchestrator so that instead of saying, make a directory, it now says make a service website, right? So if you have a lawyer's office, if you have, whatever, then you can make one of these websites for people extremely quickly, or for yourselves extremely quickly and extremely easily. That's the whole point about this. Now, you might say, what the fuck's the point of this? Now, for me, this should be something that you should have on Fiverr. You should be email outreaching to people you know. You should be messaging friends, family, whatever the hell, saying, look, I can make you a website for $500. Okay? Most people would charge for a full service website between 3 to 5,000. Because you can do it in 5 minutes and it'll be just as good as the people doing it in for 3 to 5,000, you can charge much less. All right? So you can charge $999, you could charge $975, you could even charge 1.5, right? 1.5K. People for the next 3 to 5 years will still be buying these websites, I promise you. Okay? A lot of people think, oh, it's over. People don't want to buy this stuff anymore. It's not true. Okay, it's actually not true. So we can see here. Now let me read the rest of the example workflow and update it due to file size. Let me create the completed update example workflow section. So this Claude.md is pretty much done, right? The first part of this, but this is only the first part. The Claude.md file is just the orchestrator. This is one thing that I do slightly different to, I think, most of the people that use sub-agents, right? Instead of having like an orchestrator sub-agent, what I do is I use the Claude.md file as the orchestrator, right? So that everything that happens within this 200,000 context window, all of the other sub-agents, everything is within this 200,000 context window, and it uses this Claude.md file to basically attempt to achieve whatever task it's been given, right? So now what it's going to do is it's going to create each of these individual agent files, right? So in this case, we'll need a few different agents. They won't be exactly the same agent. So let me start by creating the location generator agent. What does that mean, right? So the Claude.md file comes along. You say, make me a website for a Galway plumber, right? What it needs to do is it needs to say, okay, so Galway, what's within 50 kilometers of Galway? So we have Athenry, we have Ballinsloe, we have all these different places. So what this basically does is it creates a sub agent to do each individual task within the overall task of creating a service website, right? I hope this is making sense. This is actually quite complicated. I didn't realize how hard it was to actually explain this in words, but I'm hoping that this is kind of making sense to people. So we can see here, this is a new sub agent, right? And it's called the location generator agent. You can see location discovery specialist that researches service areas and creates a comprehensive list of towns, suburbs, and neighborhoods within service radius for local SEO coverage. Let's just see if it's given it Jina. So let's see. Yep, it has. So what does that mean? It means that it can use Jina to try to find all of the information it actually needs. So this is why this system is so amazing, right? If you say to Claude Code, make me a Next.js website for a plumber in Athenry, it will do a pretty good job, right? But if you tell this system to do the same thing, it will just do a much better job because it's a predefined workflow specific to creating service websites. Again, guys, the same thing. This time, this is the schema generator. I don't know if it needed to do schema necessarily, but I'll probably leave it because this is actually probably a better way to do it. So what does that mean? It basically, what this one does is it generates the schema for the services, right? So a plumber, you don't just have a plumber's page, right? You have an emergency plumbing service page. You have a bathroom installation and renovation page. You have a drain cleaning and unblocking page. You have a boiler repair and installation page, etc., etc., right? So if someone goes on Google and searches drain cleaning in X location, that's what we're trying to rank for, right? And being able to say to a business, look, we can make you a website that will actually rank for terms in the local area, that is very, very powerful, and that's what people actually want as well. Okay, guys, so this is pretty much done. Now I'm going to show you guys how to test and how to iterate on these prompts. So we can see here on GitHub, service website generator had recent pushes 7 seconds ago. If I refresh GitHub and then just grab the service website generator, we can see Claude Code service website generator. Beautiful. So let's just copy this. And then I'm going to show you guys how to test this. So we'll go terminal, new window with basic. We'll do git, what is it? mkdir service generator test, cd service generator test, and then git clone this, and then a full stop so that it clones it into this directory. Oh, sorry, I need to remove the... It just needs to be the clean URL like that, and then git checkout, and then the branch name, which is service website generator like that. And now you can see we're on service website generator. Now if I do Claude -- dangerously skip permissions, we should see a pop-up here for an MCP. We didn't because you can't do Claude dangerously skip permissions the first time for some reason because it doesn't pop up with the MCP. So yes, there we go. Now I'm going to quit out and now I'm going to do dangerously skip permissions. If we write /MCP, we'll see playwright. If we write /agents, we'll see data generator service schema creator. So you can see this is the correct code, right? Now I'm going to say, please make me a website for plumbers. No, let's not do plumbers. Let's do HVAC in, I don't know, Los Angeles, I guess. And then we need to actually do a design. I don't know if I'll do a design in this video, so I guess we could very quickly. Let's just go to Stitch. And we'll just say, make me a design for an HVAC service website in Los Angeles. I've forgotten how to spell Los Angeles. Jesus, Angeles. I don't know how to spell Los Angeles. I don't know what's going on in my brain recently. Let's just press go here. Apologies to anyone from Los Angeles. How do you spell Los Angeles? Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Los Angeles, right, okay, makes sense. And then the other thing we need is a Jina API key. So I'll just go to Jina, press API here, and we'll give it the Jina key. Here's my Jina key. This is just a free key, guys. There's no point in taking my key because you could just get your own free key. Okay, so Stitch has given me a very basic design. Just in terms of like wanting to get this video done, I'm just going to move on. But honestly, I prefer my own method of using AI Studio and Nano Banana. I don't actually like Stitch. I think Stitch is shit. But just because I want to get this done, let's just copy this code here. I believe this is just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we'll copy this. Oh, that's RuneScape. Sorry, guys. And we'll paste the design. Here's the design. Now, already I've thought of how to iterate upon this, right? So I would probably use either Convex or PSQL or Supabase locally or something and add another agent, right? So that people can have their own forms, because obviously forms are important for a business like this. But again, guys, just in the interest of showing you guys this entire process, I'm just going to hit enter here. And we could probably just go AFK for a few hours, or not even a few hours, 20 minutes, and then come back, and this will probably be done. So the way that I actually do this, guys, is I look at the output, right? I watch everything, and then slowly but surely you can see if there's a problem, and if there's a problem, you just iterate on the problem, right? So already you can see in this design, for example, there's a form, right? But there's no way for it to do a form because there's no database. So what we could do is we could very quickly, very easily just say, make a new agent called the database agent, have it set up a locally running Supabase, and then use that for all forms, etc. on the site. For example, right, I'm not actually going to run that. I guess we could. There's no problem with that. But you would also need to have Supabase set up, right? The user should be prompted to set up the Supabase CLI, or you should set it up for them, right? And then we hit enter here, and we allow that to basically set up Supabase so that we can have forms, right? And that's just from, that's a very, very quick and easy solution to the problem here. Okay, so let's just have a little look at this. This is the location generator, right? So I said HVAC in Los Angeles. So what it does is it creates a sub agent with a specific prompt that also has a specific workflow inside it, right? And says cities near Los Angeles plus California within 50 miles, right? Los Angeles County cities plus complete list, San Fernando Valley neighborhood plus cities, etc., etc. What this will do is it will actually create exactly what we want. It will create a full service area list, probably in JSON, for the custom Claude workflow to then work off, right? Okay, guys, so that is the research part done. I just cancelled it because it was taking too long. I'm not going to wait half an hour for a test, but obviously you guys can wait as long as you want. This is what it looks like. Now, there might be a slightly better way to do this. I probably would iterate on this a little bit because this is just a little bit intense. There's a little bit too much information here, etc., etc. But if you did let it run like this would probably be the best ranking possible. So to be honest with you, I probably won't change this because we do want the best ranking chances possible, right? So now what it's doing is it's building the Next.js app. It looks like it's scaffolding the app instead of using Next add or whatever. Looks like it wasn't actually able to run the Next.js adder or Next npx create latest. So we'll just let this run, and pretty soon, probably about 10 minutes, this entire thing will be done. Okay, guys, so basically this has now completed, and you might notice this looks exactly like the design we originally had, literally exactly. There are a few mistakes here, but overall, this looks like a very, very good build. So if I click on, for example, AC repair, and then AC repair in Arcadia, I think it is, bang, we can see exactly what I'm trying to show you. Look how good this is. And this was a very, very quick build if you don't include the data gathering, right? Obviously, the data gathering took a pretty long time. Bang, bang, bang. Look at all this information. If I look here, HVAC services in Beverly Hills, 3 services. If I click on AC repair, Beverly Hills, premium service, 24/7, luxury HVAC experts, bang, bang, bang. You might start to understand what I'm trying to tell you here, right? Now, this can be scaled across any vertical. It can be used to build anything. It doesn't have to be a service website. We didn't even have a service website generator at the beginning of this video. We had a directory generator, right? So now we also have an HVAC, or not an HVAC, a service website generator. Now, like I said, there's always some things that you need to improve. So for example, it used Unsplash Plus, which I can't use Unsplash Premium because I don't have Unsplash Premium. So what could we do here? We could say, make sure you don't use Unsplash Premium links. Pretty fucking easy, to be honest with you. The design, like I said, looks exactly like the original design. It's great. We don't have a database, so I would prompt the original prompt, this one here, like this, to have database. And also we can say, make sure the image finders don't use images from Unsplash Premium, right? Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the video there. I think you can maybe see where I'm going with this. And, you know, we might make a few of these websites, to be honest with you. We might do some rank and rent, where basically we rank for AC replacement service in Torrance, California. And then we contact HVAC services that, you know, supply this niche. And then for $500 a month, whatever, we say, look, we can give you all of the leads that come from this keyword. Or we can do, you know, $50 per lead, whatever it might be. There's a lot of ways to make money with a service like this. I'm going to leave the video there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching all the way to the end of the video, you're an absolute legend. And I'll see you very, very soon with some more content. Peace out.